There are many secrets of the ancient world that have been lost in time, nobody speaks about, nobody writes about. When it comes to the word innocence, there is no differentiation or distinction made, either in connotation or denotation, from the principle of ancient Indian and Greek metaphysics and monistic metaphysics, Pythagoreanism, than the word ignorance. So innocence and ignorance are one and the same thing denotatively from the principle of metaphysics. When we speak about our love of, say, an innocent child or our love of an innocent animal, we don't make the distinction in discerning that that is ignorance. It means, however, in extrapolating out the principles of monistic metaphysics, that when we're speaking of innocence, we are speaking about that which is native, which is natural, which is uncontrived, which is not convoluted. This doesn't mean, however, that we are to hate wisdom, the opposite of innocence, which is no different than ignorance. Of course, nobody speaks about wisdom anymore, which is extremely sad. Nobody writes about it, nobody talks about it. The most important thing in the world nobody talks about. That, of course, is the earmark, the hallmark, and the wax seal stamp of a corrupt and evil age. Evil, by denotation and connotation from the principle of monistic metaphysics, is what is unnatural, which is contrived. When we speak of someone who is innocent or guilty, say two adult people, one may be innocent wholly of having no knowledge, and the other person may be evil insofar as the fact that they have contrived, they have done what is unnatural. This exists within higher sentient beings which have great potential. How they actually manifest that potential, either towards wisdom, towards doing what is natural. They say to turn to the good is to also do good. However, to do good does not mean that you've turned to the good. What you're doing is imitating the native acts of the good or of the one. But innocence, make no bones about it, is absolutely no different than ignorance. We are in love with innocence as opposed to wisdom, because human beings generally don't know what wisdom is. And we are in love with innocent animals, innocent children, innocent people. But what we are saying is that we are actually enamored by what is good or what is natural, what is uncontrived, what naturally processes forth. What is unnatural, what is contrived, what is convoluted, is to take the great potential of one's will and twist it to meet our needs for money, power, wealth, and this is, of course, materialism. All forms of monistic metaphysics do not differentiate out evil from ultimately materialism in one of its various manifestations. I could actually get into this greater detail, and I'll give you a neat little insight, because I have dozens of books, handwritten notes, and countless thousands of pages of notes in Microsoft Word files on various DVDs and hard drives, is that the ancient, some numbers, for example, and this I have nothing to do with speaking about religion, some numbers actually spell out words, and there's an ancient Latin word, and in 3 numbers that says exisius. So if you actually take this number in the Greek and then speak it in Latin, the Latin is the word exisius, but in English it is a very close word, and the word is excess. And this is the mark of evil or materialism. This is the metaphysics of the New Testament, but I'm not interested in religion. I don't discuss religion, so don't bring up any religious nonsense, please, in this video. But that number, of course, is probably a number you're familiar with, so I'm gonna have, without me telling you, I'm gonna have you guess what that number is. But that, for example, in other words, the ancient Greeks actually had a number for excess, and which in Latin is exisius. And it's above the number 600 and below the number 680, so you could probably guess what it is. But anyway, it's interesting how stuff like that manifests itself in our modern lingua franca. The same with the word for the soul, which is the spiritus sanctum, the animus. We have the same word in ancient Sanskrit that we have in English. The word for air is the same ancient word for soul, or the breath of life. In ancient Sanskrit, the word is Atman, or ancient Prakrit, the word is Atan. In English we have the same term, but we don't apply it the same today, like atmosphere or atmospheric, the study of the winds. But in the ancient times, of course, that was the word for the soul, or the animus, or the spiritus sanctum. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you later. Bye.